everybody, it's EK from Gorman Designs, and I am coming in with another 5 Fast Cards, Part 2, using White Rose Craft Seriously Caffeinated Card Making and Craft Kit. This is a series where I make 5 quickly created cards using just the items, or basically just the items from the kit. If you missed the unboxing or Part 1 of this series, I'll go ahead and link it up in the corner so you can get caught up. But for my first card, I'm going super simple, but yet gorgeous. When you have great paper and stickers, you don't need to do a lot. Sometimes all you gotta do is pull out the great paper, trim it down, and pull out a couple of stickers to make basically gorgeous cards without much fuss or muss. You see how quickly card 1 took me today, and these Echo Park papers and stamps from the kit are just gorgeous. Card 2, I will let you know, got a little bit away from me. The idea's there, the execution was off. It's there, and I know I could go back and fix it and muddle with it and get it right. I love using a pigment ink like the Kaiser Craft Gum Meadow through a stencil because it's not perfect, but yet you really clearly see how beautiful the stencil is. So it worked in the background. It was there. I do like what I did here. I took a little bit of water and sprayed it on the pigment ink and then pressed it down onto the envelope to create kind of a ghost image onto the envelope. I pulled out my craft mat, pulled the stencil from picket fence back out, put it onto the card frame, flipped it so I'm now reversing the image, and really made certain my card frame was covered up here because I'm going to pull out my Distress Oxides Vintage Photo Spray and spray through the stencil. Now, when you've got wet ink like this, you got to lift really, really carefully so you don't roll the ink. I pulled out some stickers to finish the card. And like I said, I think had I taken a waterproof marker and outlined the stencil and then sprayed it, I don't think I would have had the problems that I'm having with this card. I picked the wrong stickers. The 3 coffee cups were the right images. The sentiment was wrong. So I pulled out a much bigger sentiment. It's what I like about these stickers. You actually got a little wiggle room to pull the sticker back up again. Like I said, this one got away from me a little bit, but the idea is there. The execution was wrong. For card 3, I went back to some simple paper piecing, and you're going to notice a hole in my background paper. That's because I'm utilizing all that I can from the paper. When you give me double-sided paper, it's always so difficult to choose what I'm going to like. And in this case, I figured I'm going to cover up the paper anyway with the stamped image from Picket Fence that's included in the kit. So I might as well just place that right over this circle. I pulled out my Nuvo Creative Pins from my stash to color up the image. And I'm going to make the coffee cups pink, if nothing else, because it's girly and festive and fun. And it's a nice contrast to the green paper that's underneath it. I'm not doing any fancy coloring here. I am just getting ink on the paper, making sure the cups in the background are darker than the cups in the foreground. Nothing fancy here. The stamp has such great details on it. Really, if you just follow the stamping shadows themselves, you can add color shadows with ease and grace and make it look like you know what you're doing. For the lid, I pulled out a collection of grays. This is the Pebble collection. It's a really brown gray. It's a really warm color, and in the end it, I think, looked just perfect for the lids, where it's a little off-white and almost cream, but not really. It still looks white. So it worked out really well for me in the end. And like I said, nothing fancy going on with this coloring. I'm really just trying to add some color. I went with my natural browns, and boy, it got dark fast. I don't think I intended for the carrier to be this dark, and I definitely had a brain fart moment where I colored the bottom in as if the carrier had, the cardboard of the carrier went all the way down and wasn't in the cups, but I really like how the brown made the pink pop. So yes, it got darker than I intended, but I think the pink really stands out pretty here. I added just a touch of shadow underneath it using a couple individual pins and cleaned up my mess with the blender, because yes, I made a mess, and trimmed the cardstock up. because I wanted it tight. That image should be really tight in there. Now I'm going to adhere it onto my green printed paper that's included in the card kit and just trim it down again so that it's just the slimmest hint of color around the colored image. I took the brick pattern and added it to my A2 card frame, and definitely wanted the coffee cups to sit at an angle off kilter. And it's so big, it's not really off kilter, but it sort of is. So I pulled back out that stamp that I peeled off of my last card and used it perfectly on this one. The size on this one, the little sentiment works perfectly with the image, and I finished it off with some Nouveau crystal drops. And there you go, there's card 3, and I love that stamped image. It's so fun to color. For card 4, I'm paper piecing, and I pulled out the 2 great plaid prints in the cardstock and some black cardstock from my personal stash. And I love how the pink gingham and the black gingham play off each other. I just think there's a nice, beautiful impact with both of them. And it's just simple paper piecing, but yet the juxtaposition of the black and the pink I think is fun and fresh and very springy. I like that this frame and the sentiment in the ephemera piece are detachable, because now I can take some 3-dimensional tape. I went with these squares because they're actually a little bit higher than my roll tape, and it pops up even further. But I like that you can pop it up off the card and have some fun dimensional looks with this piece of ephemera. Finish the image off with a few of the floral green rhinestones included in the kit. Super simple card, but I think a lot of fun because the paper pops. For card 5, I pulled out some gray cardstock from my stash and a piece of printed paper and a piece of ephemera. It's a tag, and I just layered it up. I knew I wanted something to break up the gray and the green, so I actually pulled out the washi tape, and I love this particular washi tape because it actually sticks really, really well. And I love the geometric feel of it with that pop of gold shine and shimmer within the washi tape. I adhered everything down to the card frame and got it very wonky. I don't know if it was in my cutting that I got off or if it was in my gluing that everything fell apart, but boy, it's crooked. I pulled out some lace from White Rose Craft from my stash and just added it to the tag because I thought it needed a little bit, tags have that string attached to it. I put the piece of ephemera on crooked and added a few more of those rhinestone stickers and called card 5 done. I do love that piece of ephemera tag. I think it's just gorgeous, and I love the floral on it. I have a tiny, teeny little bonus card for you. In the kit is 6 different card frames, and there's this teeny tiny pearlescent one, so I thought I'd just quickly whip it up today as a bonus to my 5 Fast cards. And super simple little card, but definitely a great one that would go on attached to a gift. Easy peasy for any coffee lover. I pulled off the sticker from the sticker sheet, and that's it. Little piece of scrap paper, a sticker, and a few rhinestones, and you have a very cute little attachment card. Thanks for peeking in today. Make sure you pick up your limited edition Seriously Caffeinated Card Making Kit, and let me know in the comments below which of the 5 or bonus cards is your favorite. Until then, happy crafting.